What up, everybody? It's your boy, Cousin Oz, the People's Mailman, back for another episode with the commish. Wait a minute. Where's Tony? Cousin Tony. Oh, you know what? My bad. He's feeling a little under the weather today. He's actually behind the scenes running everything for the Cousins Collectibles podcast. I told him to stop being a BI and come out, do the flu game, the whole Mike thing, and Mike Jordan. And he wasn't, I don't know, he wasn't feeling it. What's up, commish, man?
How you doing? I'm happy to, take the call to come from the bullpen. I am your in the hockey world. I'm your e-bug, your emergency backup goalie.
Okay, so, I had no idea where you're going with that, but okay.
I'm your emergency backup goalie. Those cats that sit at stadiums, and I'm here. I'm here to help out.
Very, very nice. I appreciate that, brother. Like, sure. And it happens. We have the live, like say the Tonight Show when the main guy can't go. It's all good. And just so you guys are aware, you could always call in. So the link is going to be there, pinned up to the top of the chat as always. So welcome, commish. Like, tell me what you've been up to lately, brother. How's it been going?
Good. I was finishing up hobby-wise. I was other than life, but hobby-wise, I had my run on my my Gretzky's, and
that's right.
You guys saw that video, the reel I did a couple weeks ago, where I was collecting my cards and got to where I only needed one more, and of course it's the granddaddy of them all. So someday I'm gonna that's gonna be a little farther down the road, but I was able to accumulate every single one of his cards.
So what card are you missing? What's the granddaddy of them all?
The O-Pee-Chee, the 7980 O-Pee-Chee rookie. I have the tops. I just don't have the O-Pee-Chee rookie.
Okay, I got you. So you're not okay. So you want to get both versions.
I got so that's what I did for from rookie year all the way up to right now. I'm up to 1991. Having every one of his cards, O-Pee-Chee and tops, both versions of everything, with a few extra ones mixed in, like a couple stickers, some box bottoms. I don't know if you remember back then the tops cards. Used to come with the cards on the bottom of the box that you can cut out yourself.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I went ham on that thing right from. I made that my 2023 goal.
Yeah,
and I think I had it finished before February hit.
I think it's time to re-up those goals, baby. You know what I mean? Like how many cards is that?
Oh God, you know what? I didn't count, but I have a picture of it on my IG. The whole thing laid out. It took up my entire kitchen table.
Yeah, definitely. So, now you did an actual reel that went viral, sir.
Oh yeah.
And you've been paying for it ever since. We always try to go ahead and get that one reel that'll just go out there. You put it together, and you're like, man, if this could just go viral, this is the dopest thing I've ever put out there, and it might get 7 views. You actually have done it. You've done a reel, and I want you to explain what the reel is. Real quick, shout out to my man Hail Mary Sports Card. What's good, brother? What's good? Oh, and then Cousins Collectibles. See, Tony's he's in the back making comments. He has a plethora of Gretzky's. That is true. That is so true. So describe this reel that went viral, man, and what you're actually like, the numbers, because it's insane how many people have viewed this thing.
Oh, it's ridiculous. So I noticed the trend on Instagram Reels when I've been scrolling on there, like everybody does. Those it was basically if wrestling is fake. ... then explain this, and it's usually some ridiculous, stupid wrestling move from some, school cafeteria, gym, like some, not even C-level wrestling. These guys are great, but it's usually something ridiculous. Like I saw one, which was a guy doing a force choke slam on somebody from across the ring. But it made me laugh. And I was like, I have this video that I saved on my phone for some reason because of the ridiculousness of it. And I was like, all right, I was not looking to go viral. I was just like, hey, this is a thing I'm seeing a lot of. I got one, I'll throw it out there. So I put, if wrestling is fake, then explain this. And it's from, I think, Japan. I forget the wrestler's name, but people knew him from the comments. But one guy goes across the ropes and he goes and misses a clothesline. And the other guy comes across and he grabs this guy right in the balls. I mean, just right on the whole thing. He's got the twig, he's got the berries, he's got it all. And
And the guy on his knees, right?
um,
Or
well,
not yet?
yeah, he ducked and then he grabbed, right? And when guys when they do that, the nope, 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 and they get like the arm, they're doing the test of strength, and they're like, nope,
Mhm.
nope. Well, that's what he did. So the guy's got him by the crotch, and he's just like, nope, 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 nope. And he just goes like this, just flexes, and then the guy who's holding on to his crotch is just like, oh, he's so he does this twist, does and he does it like 3 times, where he just kind of bears down, and it's ridiculous.
So basically, this guy's getting beat down by this guy's nuts. He's holding on
Exactly.
to his nutsack,
Yeah.
and every time this guy flexes,
Yep.
his force, all
He's
his force is coming through his nuts and making it and putting it right into the guy's
right.
arm and causes him at one point to flip him over, right?
Yeah, he does this move where he goes, "Ah," and he flips him over, and I thought it was funny. And I posted it on like December 15th. I think I remember because that was the day I was like, my Instagram is now broken. Like,
That
like
was the
I said,
day of infamy.
all day, all day. It's like likes and comments, and I wasn't like I said, I wasn't expecting it, but right now you said you wanted numbers.
Yeah, I need numbers. Numbers, Neil, give me the
Number
numbers.
numbers. Neil's back in action. Hang on a
Blaine
second.
Thornton says he saw it and it was pretty funny.
It is funny. It's funny. All right, right now it's at geez Louise, it's still growing. 4.4 million views. Hang on, the video's
Holy
going.
sheesh. How many likes?
4.4 million views. 143,000 likes and over 1,500 comments. It's been shared or storied 671,000 times.
Jesus
And now I
Christ.
think I thought I turned the comments off because I needed a break on my notifications, but
Uh-huh.
it literally, I don't know how people do it when they go viral on stuff. And I've told you and Tony, like, I mean, it broke my IG. Like I can't get my notifications back on again because I thought it would eventually die out, but
It just
it's
keeps
still getting
going.
them. It's still getting
That's
them.
insane, bro. Like I thought I had a big one with me and my daughter when we did the
Yeah,
Stranger Things one. I was like, nah, I heard you talking smack, beginning. Oh man, I went viral. I was like, ain't nothing.
yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're at 1 million, 2 million, 3 million.
Oh,
I'm like, oh Jesus
once that
Christ.
once that thing started creeping near 1 million, I was just like, wow, I can't believe the 1 million views. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's I wasn't. I guess maybe I wasn't trying, and it just it went, dude. And it's
That hit the algorithm and it just went.
yeah. Once it got caught up and spun up in the Instagram algorithm, and like it saw the likes and it started going, and it's
That's
funny. I
amazing.
think it's hilarious. I still have. I mean, hell, I saved the video on my phone from years ago, and I don't know why. But
Oh, there you go. It was meant to be, bro. That was just one of those things that you just for years this was boiling in the background, and
yeah,
it just came to fruition, and here we
yep.
are with a plethora of likes and views.
Plethora of likes. So yeah, I will see. It's yeah, it's gotten remixed here and there, and I'm just like I said, I'm hoping for it to kind of chill out a little bit. I'll turn my notifications back on. So if anybody does comment on my stuff and I miss it, I apologize. My notifications are off.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, we obviously are Eagles fans. All
Yes.
right.
I don't have my Eagles
It's
stuff
it's
on.
Thursday after the Super Bowl. I know it's
Yeah.
been talked about ad nauseum.
Yeah.
I've actually been trying to ignore all the talk because I know what happened. And Tony doesn't want to talk about it, so he wants to act like it doesn't bother him. So we just didn't play defense. I don't want to hear about it. We lost, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, bro, I need somebody to vent to. So I'm gonna vent to you, and I'm hoping that you listen to what I have to say, because you're gonna listen to what I have to say. And it's nothing. I'm not gonna come out of the woodworks with some crazy conspiracy theories as to how we lost. I just want to recap. I just want to say, okay, this is what happened
Hmm.
and this is what it ended up, and I'm sad, and we're gonna move on. But this is my way that I'm trying to just go ahead and let it all out for the very
Getting your
last time.
closure.
Yeah, I need some closure because Tony doesn't want to give it to me. He wants to give me the clean cut. We just didn't play defense. We sucked. We lost. No. So Eagles recap of the
Look,
Super Bowl.
look at the bottom of the screen. Sorry.
Welcome to the venting segment. There you go. Hertz played his ass off. Thank you, Blaine. Thank you, Blaine. Speaking of which, before we get to that, I got a mail day today, and
Oh,
this was before the Super Bowl. I went ahead and I got a card from our boy Ken Carl, and
Ooh,
it was one of the Jalen Hurts
ooh, sweet. I saw that on his page.
hollows. Yeah, so this was 9 out of 10.
Wow.
And man, this was before the Super Bowl. So, I had
Yeah.
dreams of getting this puppy signed, by the MVP Super Bowl winner, Jalen
Mhm.
Hurts. I had it all in my head,
Yeah.
had it all planned out. And a referee in stripes robbed me of that opportunity. But I digress. So here we go. So listen, we were kicking ass in the first half. Let's not make no bones about it. Eagles were kicking ass. We were dominating the time of possession.
Mhm.
It ended up being what we were up by 10 points, 24-14 at
Yep.
half. There was a couple things, 14 points, but 7 of those points was because of a fumble that the guy just was able to pick up. Jalen Hurts just switching hands. Nobody really forced the fumble, fell on the floor, and the guy from Kansas City ran it back untouched.
Mhm.
So if you think about it, they only scored 7 points really in the first half. So that's kind of like, bang. Another time when Devontae Smith caught that ball and they took like 30 minutes to review it. And then finally they said it was incomplete. We
Mhm.
ended up going down, but we didn't have enough time to score a touchdown. So it kind of cost us 4 points where we would have been at the 6-yard line and been able to punch it in. So that's an 11-point swing. Those
Mhm.
7 points from the fumble and then the 4 points we lost. So there was a possibility. Again, these are not conspiracy theories, but there could have been, with the amount of time that we had the possession in the ball, and if Hurts doesn't fumble that ball, and obviously they say that's a catch, it could have been 28-7 at half
Mhm.
very easily.
Yeah.
And that I would have felt a lot better going into halftime against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid up 28-7 as opposed to 24-14. Even though we dominated everything, I was like 10 points against Andy Reid and Mahomes is not enough.
Not
My wife
no.
is like, no, we're good. I'm like, no, we're not
No.
good. I said, they
No.
get the ball to start the second half.
Yep.
They're going to come right down and score. I guarantee you. They're going to make adjustments. Andy
Mhm.
Reid's going to pull rabbit out of his hat and watch. It's going to be like that. They're going to get a stop. And before you know, we're going to be down in this game. She's like, nah, we're playing too good. And exactly what happened. And then I guess, shoot, it ended up being the score was 38-35. So
Yep.
they outscored us, I think, 24-11 in the second half.
Yep.
Yeah. So numbers, Neil, you can verify that.
Hang on. That math checks out. Yep.
Checks out good. Um, and the most controversial thing is obviously, yeah, again, Blaine, the punt return, definitely. That was another, 7 points that should have never
Mhm.
happened. Obviously, we weren't able to stop Patrick in the second half, but at least we would have been able to slow that down a little bit instead of them getting the quick 7 to go
Yeah.
up in that. And even that, we fell down 8 points. And at that point in time, what's up, Big John?
What's up?
Falling behind 8 points, I was like, we're done. We're over. It's
Yeah.
hopeless. And then
Yeah.
here comes Jalen putting the team on his back again, bro, and
Yeah.
taking it down and then getting a 2-point conversion, tying the game up. And we finally get a stop on their ass on a 3rd and 8, force them to a field goal. And it's like, no, 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 no. We have a hold, sir. Excuse
Mhm.
me? Yes, yes, yes. My man, James Bradbury, he just held Juju Smith-Schuster, and we're going to go ahead and end the game right here for you guys because we don't want the Super Bowl to go anymore. We don't want to have the most spectacular Super Bowl ever in the history of Super Bowls to continue, which could possibly went into overtime, which maybe Jalen Hurts could have shown. He already had an MVP type performance, but give this man a minute and 30 seconds and a timeout to go ahead and go down the field and possibly tie it up or maybe even win the game. Why the hell, if you're the NFL, would you not want that? You could pick up flags. You could have got a call from the commission saying, hey, pick up that flag. We want to see what happens here, buddy. But no. We went ahead. We had to literally find 72 angles where they had to blow it up 72 times to see James Bradbury's hand, hold him within the 5 yards that he's able to tussle with the guy. And then the
Mhm.
ball was overthrown anyway.
Yep.
Um, Big John says, I think the time of possession strategy backfired. Yes and no. I mean, the thing is, if you have all that time of possession, you got to put the points on the board. And there was lots of points that we left on the board, some stupid penalties.
Mhm.
The big thing before that fumble of Jalen Hurts, it was a 3rd and 1, and we were going to go ahead and do the famous quarterback sneak.
Yep.
And I think it was Sayamalu, jumped off sides. and obviously,
Pushed it back.
yep, and that put him 3rd
Moved
and
the ball
6 in
back.
that very next play. So there was so many things, man. But my at the end of the day, listen, like I said, it's a venting session. We lost, no matter where he said. Don't forget there were spy balloons in the air.
Yeah,
They
I
played a
saw.
part too.
Well,
Tony,
Tony's back there. He's a little devil behind the scenes. It's like a Gremlins on this show.
yeah,
Um, but
Kevin
yeah,
with the
like
yes,
like
he
Kevin
did
says,
admit to holding. Of course
Bradbury
he
says
did.
he did, and
We're not
and some
denying
people.
that he didn't hold.
No, no, no. And it's was it an egregious hold? I mean, there's holding on every play. Everybody says that
That's
a
my
call.
point. You can find a penalty on every play in every, single game. Why
So
not just let the players with less than 2 minutes left in the game, the ball wasn't catchable,
yeah,
you let it play, man. Yeah,
yeah,
and I told I got into arguments with, Shane Norton, sports card nobody. I got into arguments with Rob. I tried to, have Tony on my side and he's just like, no. Um, but it was just like, listen, my thing is at that point in time, you just got to swallow the whistle.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've said they've done that, and if you're on the biggest stage, with the biggest game, and that close of a game, they should have, they could have. The bottom line is, the Eagles led in so many different things. They also led in penalties of the game.
Six
The
to three.
yeah, there was only that was wasn't that the only turnover in the game was the
That
fumble.
was the only
Basically, there
turnover.
was no
Yep.
turnovers.
Yep.
They didn't lead in sacks, which they should have, but they didn't. The defense didn't get there. The bad punt and special teams
Yep.
that hurt. So there was
It
a lot of
we
different
made
things.
more mistakes. We definitely made more mistakes.
Yeah,
The field definitely didn't help anything. When it came to our pass
yeah,
rush, we're not the power type, guys that can just go out there and maul people. We're more of like the finesse and try to,
yeah.
work your way and do stunts and stuff like that, and more speed when it comes to our pass rush,
Hmm.
which was totally negated by that
Hmm.
field. So,
Yep.
but again, both teams were playing on it, so I can't.
Yeah, both teams were. I won't tell you what I heard about well, I don't know if it was rumor or not, but that field turf was grown or
Yeah.
procured from the Kansas City
Yeah.
uh,
Well, the
ownership,
guy,
something like
his
that.
name is the Podfather.
I
He's
don't.
over 90 years old,
Yeah, I don't want to.
and he's actually from Kansas City, and he grew this thing. Now, here's the conspiracy is he let the people from Kansas City know, hey, you're going to need better cleats in order
Mm,
to be able to operate on this thing. It's going to be a slick surface. And if you look at the pictures, really the only people that were changing their cleats was the Eagles. Now, there
right.
was a couple guys that slipped on Kansas City, but for the most part, you didn't see a pile. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that picture
Yep.
of the
That
pile of
pile of
cleats.
shoes.
The
Yeah.
entire team had to switch cleats, where
Yeah.
Kansas City was just like, huh,
Yeah. Yep.
it's
No,
better to lose to Kansas City than to live there by Mark.
yeah, it was a heartbreaking game. At least it wasn't a blowout. It was a great game on both sides. So, when you make the mistakes, somebody like Andy Reid and Mahomes are going to make you pay for when you have even as small as they are.
Yeah.
That's the type of team that's going to make you pay for it, especially
Yeah.
Andy Reid. And
Well,
it
you
sucks
saw
for the team.
the two main plays that they ran the same exact play twice. It was just a misdirection play where the guy looks like he's going across and he just ran
Boom.
right back wide open. So, it was a combination. We couldn't keep our footing and we just were not prepared for that particular play. And then it ended
Yeah.
up being where,
Yeah, I was hearing them talk about that play that they ran twice, just different sides of the field. That they picked that up from the Jaguars game. So hey, Andy Reid dives deep, baby. He goes
yeah.
deep and
Oh,
sees what
yeah,
works.
yeah. So Sidney Reynolds, everyone wants the moment of seeing a comeback, but then would crucify the referee if he didn't make the call. I wouldn't have. I would have been fine with it.
This is,
I would have been
for your
okay with the,
Eagles color glasses. You
no,
got
but
the Eagles.
most people, I mean, Tony's the kind of guy like, oh, you know what I mean? That one play doesn't matter. But when it's 35-35 with a minute and a half left with one timeout, that play does matter. You just can't say, you know what I mean? It literally, that flag ended the game, ended the Super Bowl. There was no way that we could possibly do anything after that call is made. So,
Correct.
um, I don't know. Like I said with a bunch of these guys too, I said, listen, if I was watching the New England Patriots going against the New York Giants and I'm watching the same exact thing and it's a Super Bowl and I see that call being made and the Super Bowl just ends and everybody's looking at each other, I would have been pissed too. I'd be like,
Mhm.
bro, let them play, especially that call.
Yeah,
If it's a literal hold, you know what I mean? Like, a
yeah,
hold, right?
yeah.
or the guy's running and the guy's not looking back at the ball, and he's
Mhm.
just, what the hell a defensive pass interference and a hold is. Did he
Yeah.
hold him? Yes, by the letter of the law, but that's something you could have let go
Yeah.
for the greater good,
Yes, for the good of the realm, as they
for
say.
the good of the realm. Yep. And then
But
Blaine again. I really think the kneel down needs to be outlawed. I agree with that. That's kind of whack to me. And yes, they did have a very hard time stopping Pacheco, which was surprising. They could shut down Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley and
mm,
all
you know what else?
and yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
and then
sorry. Sorry. You know what else is going to be going next? Well, I don't think the kneel down is going to be going, but they're going to
the
pushing
quarterback sneak, yeah, the push,
the
the
pushing
tush push. They
the
call it the
tush
tush
push.
push.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
going to be. I think that's going to be gone. I don't know why like nobody else does it, but
because they don't have a 600-pound squatting quarterback that can, you know what I mean? Like now, the only thing that the Eagles are actually good at, you want to take it away from us? Come on. Tom Brady's been doing a quarterback sneak his entire 80-year career, and it was fine. Now we do it for, 1 year and dominate. Now it's like, oh, wait.
you
We
get the
cannot
push.
have this. This is not allowed, ladies and
They'll
gentlemen.
still do the sneak. They're just going to say no pushing, but I guess that'll probably also apply to kicks. I mean, field goals, don't they climb the back of the you
Yeah,
can't
that's not
go
allowed.
well,
Yeah.
you can't climb the back anymore, but
Right. Or
um,
jump over like crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
there's
like
like all
Palomalu.
kinds of. I think they said it's like an unfair advantage with the pushing it back, and then they also said it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And I was like, what the hell
Yeah,
does that have to do with anything?
yeah, well, it was a good season,
Yeah, no, man, it was an excellent season.
I don't think any of us after last year. I don't after last year losing to Tampa in first round. Did you expect them to be in the Super Bowl?
No,
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 I mean
not at all.
genuine in your heart. So, but as
No,
the season
we
as it
had,
progressed,
predictions at the beginning of the year, and I just said Eagles playing around. I said Eagles and Bills, but I definitely wasn't thinking,
right,
definitely I was thinking the Bills, but not the Eagles. But I said
right,
it just being a homer. And as
hmm
each week went along, and I'm looking at this team, and I'm like, we're kind of
okay,
dominant.
okay,
We're a
yeah,
good team.
okay,
And Jalen Hurts is balling his ass out, like
yep.
MVP type numbers. If he doesn't get hurt, I think he gets MVP, which kind of sucked too. It's like, Tony always gets on my shit about this. Like I always argue, like, man, we're not guaranteed any championships. So whenever Joel Embiid is out there to get, in the MVP conversation, or this year with Jalen Hurts in the MVP conversation, is like, I know that, to win the whole thing is so difficult. And that's why I want these guys to get that hardware, because they earn that shit. Joel Embiid went out there and he earned it last year. And they gave a
Mhm.
back to back to our boy Jokic, which again, I never said Jokic wasn't a bad player, but is he a back to back now? They're saying he can win it 3 times in a row. I'm like, goodness gracious, why don't we just, like, come on, there's nobody better than Jokic out there. Like, I get it. He averages a triple double, and there's reasons for that. And I don't want to go into that. But again, Joel Embiid deserved at least one of those two. And here, Mahomes took the one that I believe Jalen Hurts, because of the shoulder injury that he got. I really
Mhm.
believe that he was out there. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
all about availability. I agree. I
mhm.
agree. So those 2 games that he sat out, that cost him, and it
I
sucks.
think so.
Because he
I
had
think you're
gone
right.
16-1.
I
You
think
know,
you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, that was unfortunate, but I'd rather them get to the Super Bowl
right?
and get there versus him risking,
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
hurt
yeah.
again.
Definitely, definitely.
But how do you feel, cousin? You feel good?
I
You got it.
feel good. I feel good. Because
You
Tony
got
would
it
not
out.
let me wouldn't let me vent, and if he was here right now, he would have cut me off like 30 minutes ago. So,
Uh,
I feel
this
good.
is this is the
Yeah,
the sit back and cousin Oz's it's your
right.
world, man.
Yeah, yeah. And
We just
again,
get the nice
Sydney,
little
and you're
phone
right. That
messages.
goes for Joel too. It's like those 2 guys, they put up these incredible numbers, and they get
Mhm,
a couple, injuries, nagging injuries that holds them out, and it
mhm.
and it costs them. So it is what it is. You know, now
Been
it's
a
on
heck
to
of
the
a ride.
Sixers. It's on to the Sixers. See what they do. But
Well, it's all up to them. I mean, let's see. Phillies got to the World Series,
lost,
lost. The Union got to the championship. The Eagles
lost,
got there.
Loss.
It's on the Sixers now, I guess, because I'm telling you who's not doing it this year is this time my boys Flyers aren't
Bro,
doing
what
it.
is bro, I can
No,
count on I can
no.
count on a loss every night pretty much from the, like, what is their record now?
Oh, they are just under 500 right now, if I'm not mistaken. They're either like 22 and 23 and some
Really?
ties.
I would've thought they were
Yeah.
like 1 in 75, like,
No,
bro,
no, no, no.
every time I see they're losing.
That's what I want. That's what I want to see this year. So, yeah, I want to see them losing right now, but just
Yep.
because of the draft strategies. But
So, my man Blaine said Eagles in the NFC, they will be back. Believe that. My man James Lubin, Sixers are 3 games back. Guys, don't sweat it. I ain't sweating it, bro. We on a roll now. And
oh
he's
yeah,
just said Giannis just got hurt tonight, sprained wrist. Is it serious? Is that a serious injury? Because last time I thought
brace,
Giannis tore his
bracing.
ACL, and he ended up coming back the very next game and winning the title and being MVP. Do you remember that when he
Yeah,
hyperextended his knee
yeah,
like
yeah,
2
yeah.
years ago? And I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, he's done.
He's
He's done."
done, finished.
And here he comes back, Superman. And that very
Yeah,
next game is like, and he
yeah,
couldn't shoot free throws for nothing. But that magical knee, all of a sudden, he went like 22 for 22, the deciding game or something crazy.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, look at this. But that's, man, when these guys, when these superstars, people like that, like Giannis, and Jordan, and we talk about Kobe Bryant, and they just have that mentality. They can take their weaknesses and they can focus so much, get, that razor sharp focus and go out there and just perform at another level. And that's what really separates them. We got all-stars, but
hmm
then there's those guys that, on that next level, LeBron James and people like that. Speaking of LeBron James, obviously, it's been said, but he's now the leading scorer of the NBA. What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
Uh, I think it's pretty incredible. It's one of those records where you weren't sure if it would ever get broken, and
I
he's
never thought it
played.
would. Yeah.
We're in that phase right now because the same things happen over in the hockey world right now too. But with LeBron, you're like, God, the Kareem record's going to be there forever. But I was impressed. I give the guy, tip the hat to LeBron. I mean, he gets all the love and he gets all the hate.
Yeah.
And more than most. I don't remember Jordan getting this type of
No.
heat that
I
he
mean,
gets,
listen, Jordan got
but
the hate, but it was
it
just
was a
hate because you knew he was kicking your ass every night. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like he was kicking your team's ass. With
yeah,
LeBron, there's so many, from, just political stuff, just dumb shit like that, stupid things he says. The fact that he'd been jumping around and creating super teams,
yeah. And
things like that.
the
The
social media
social
factor
media,
where
so
everybody's
there's so
got
many.
their opinions out there.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah, the new Jordan
oh,
movie. Yeah, that looks
about
really good. They had
the
a thing, that
shoes.
whole Nike. Yeah,
Mhm,
that's pretty dope. So it's a whole story about Nike and what they did. It was just a startup company and they went into, they bet it all on Mike, which is
mhm.
pretty cool. And,
Yeah,
obviously it is what it is today. And that brand, the Jumpman, that just took, that made Mike,
yeah,
I would say billions of dollars. You know what I mean? Like he's the
yeah.
owner of basketball team that he can never seem to get it right with that. He was always the man when it came to being on the court, but sometimes it doesn't translate when you go ahead either into coaching. Like Magic
Yeah,
Johnson tried to coach for a little bit, the Lakers,
mhm,
and it just didn't work out.
mhm,
So as a Lakers fan, him having the record does nothing for me. I would rather have won the game. I agree, Sydney. I agree. Listen,
mhm.
I'm not gonna talk smack. Like what LeBron has done over the years it's amazing. But still in the pantheon, I always go back to Jordan being the GOAT. And as far as killer instinct, I have Jordan number 1, and then I have Kobe number 2. Ziggy, no, in the house. Good evening, sir. Cheers. Did
Ziggy,
Mike Ziggy said, did Mike make Nike or did Nike make Mike? I think Mike made Nike, bro.
I think so. I was gonna say it's not. I don't think that's a chicken. I don't think that's a chicken or the egg story there.
Yeah,
I think
Mike from
Jordan.
day one, bro, came into the NBA. He came from North Carolina, and he just took over, man. I remember that time where he dropped 63 on Larry Bird and the Celtics in the playoff game. They ended up losing that because the Celtics were nasty, but still, that was his coming out party. He's going between his legs. Bird's trying to cover him. It was just like a mismatch. There was no way Bird could stick Mike. And
Nope.
you're just looking at this, and it was like, wow.
Oh,
Hockey cards, gong show. What?
Yes.
Wait a minute here. We're
That's
bringing
the
in
crossover.
now my mind is blown. Talk to me about this, bro. Come on, this is your wheelhouse.
Yes, sir. That's my buddies Josh and Troy. I'm not sure if it's one or both, but yeah, that's my buddies Josh and Troy from the Hockey Cards Gong Show. You guys got me into the podcast and listening routine, and you guys getting onto it because you guys are my best friends, like some of my best friends right here close to home
Right,
for 15 years now. And yeah, so I started listening to shows, and I'm a hockey guy. You guys know
right.
that. So I started looking at hockey card podcasts, and there weren't many. And it was funny. Right as I started getting into collecting, my boys Josh and Troy were just starting out doing their podcast,
Uh-huh.
and they've just been, you know, doing a bang up job on Instagram. And so yeah, they've I love talking with them, and on Instagram and on their Patreon, or not Patreon, on their Discord server. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's really fun. We've become really close friends, and I've gotten some shout outs on their show as well too. So as when I
Hockey card cousins. There we go.
hockey
Tony
card
with the
cousins, there
graphic.
you go.
Tony
So
in the back. No, I mean, listen, I remember I was thinking like we were the only pod that the commish was listening to, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Bro, you really need to listen to these guys." I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "Yeah, the Hockey Cards Gong Show." I'm like, "What are you talking? Like, you're cheating on us, bro? You listening to other guys? Like, seriously?" He's like,
yeah,
"No, no, no, no. You serious?" And I was like,
yeah,
"Oh, okay, I'll check them out. I'll check them out." No, but those are
yep,
the guys, man. I appreciate.
yep,
That's awesome, man, and
yeah,
that's what this hobby does, man.
it is.
And now you got some buddies over there. You got lifelong buddies, and we're all here talking
Yep,
smack about little men on cardboard,
yeah,
sometimes women.
yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Sydney
So
saying Jordan made Nike. He is the best. Period.
yeah,
Yes,
think
and
about
then
everybody who wanted those Jordans. I mean,
yeah, they would
I
kill.
wasn't.
Listen, people were getting killed for those Jordans,
Yeah,
especially in the hood. Let me see.
nobody
There
gives
was
a
no
shit.
sneaker flipping before Mike and those Jordans. I remember kids thinking the shoes made people jump higher. Yeah, I thought that.
They made
You
me
thought
run faster.
maybe run faster,
I
jump
got
higher, and
my
especially Reebok when they came out with that pump. I was like, man, the more pumps, I'm just gonna be on the court and kicking some
yeah,
ass with those pumps. But yeah,
yeah.
listen, I tell you what, man,
I
Mike
think he made
made a whole generation dream, bro. Like if I
mhm,
could be like Mike, he just
mhm,
had everybody wanting to be like him. And I
mhm.
remember being out on the court and trying to do every move that he could. And I'm just like 5'10", thinking, I'm Michael Jordan, and one day I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna dunk. And like I always talk about, be, the first Puerto Rican in the NBA and just killing it. And I'm gonna be 6'6" someday, just like Mike. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. So now I'm on the Cousins Collectibles podcast.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like yeah, I follow basketball very little, right?
Hmm.
But I know what's going on. Sixers doing well. I pay attention. I hear it. But even when I was a kid, I was always hockey, hockey, hockey. And like I wanted Jordans. I was picking up, playing basketball at my buddy's house, and we were all pretending we were all doing Jordan, pretending between the legs and tongue hanging out and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like I didn't do much for basketball. Didn't do much for me back then, and but I still had the sneakers. I got the Jordans. I have my retro Jordans, the sixes, I think they are.
Uh-huh.
Like I still have them now. Those are my favorite shoes that I've ever
Yeah.
had as a kid, and I went and got them when they really re-released them.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm pretty confident that yeah, Jordan made Nike, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, the NBA wouldn't have been around if it wasn't for Magic and Bird. They basically that duo, they came in
Yeah.
and they revived the entire NBA. And then it started moving. You had
Uh,
Showtime Lakers and you had the Bird, you had that rivalry. And then
uh-huh.
here comes Mike onto the scene. And then once Mike took off, bro,
Yeah.
the NBA was at an all-time high. It was just unbelievable. Must watch TV. I just, then you just have the superstars. I remember those commercials. I love this game. I don't know if you remember
Mm.
those. It would be,
Yep.
every Sunday and just
Yep.
watching
Yep.
it.
Yep. I'll be honest. I didn't realize until that HBO special, that miniseries Showtime.
Hmm.
It was learning thing to me. I wanted to watch it. I love movies and stuff like that. Any sports movie really, but I never realized how bad off the NBA was. Like it was teetering on going under
Yeah.
before Magic and Bird came on. So that
Hmm.
was kind of like eye opening to me. So
Yeah. So do you have a top 5? Are you able to rattle off who do you think your top 5 NBA players would be?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. For me,
Yeah.
yeah, I could do that.
All right. Well, who's your
For
top
me,
5?
it's let me think here. I got Jordan.
Mhm.
For
Number
me
one.
is my number one. Probably my two would probably be Kobe.
Mhm.
I mean, three. Poof. I guess it's got to go LeBron. You know, just out of the LeBron
Bro, everybody you
factor.
just named, that's like my top 3, but go
Yeah.
ahead. That's fine.
Sorry, you didn't tell me go. Don't pick your three. You
No,
said
no,
pick,
but that's,
and then
I'm just saying
I would probably say Magic and Bird.
Magic and Bird.
Yeah, I don't go so far back because I know everybody will probably like hammer me for what about Kareem, what about Bill Russell,
Mhm.
I don't my memory doesn't go back that far as the game, and I know who they all are. Obviously, I appreciate them and understand their importance, but I don't know. Um, that would be my top five, just because
Yeah.
those are the ones I know the best, and that's my five.
Yeah, and that's yeah, man. That's a tough 5. I like I said, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron in those order, and that's just because Kobe to me, everybody will debate that LeBron could be the possible goat. I just when it comes to killer instinct and like the two players that I would want to have the ball at the end of the game, that would be Michael Jordan 1 and Kobe Bryant 2. Just
Hmm.
that killer instinct that you're out on the court and no matter what, those guys can get you a bucket. That would be it.
Yeah,
LeBron's the best all-around player ever. And I think right now he's 4th on assists. So if you look at that, he's gonna be number 1 on scoring and then 4 on assists. We say you're Neil's true love. We're having this. That's funny. So the Hockey Cards Gong Show, they're saying we're basically cousin Tony and I were Neil's true love, and they are happy being the side piece. And you know what? I'm
there's
cool with that. I'm cool with that. We're
There's
all
enough
swingers
commission to
here.
go around. There's enough
We're all
commission to go
swingers here,
around. It's like
baby.
divorce.
Yeah.
It's like divorced parents. Like, oh no, no, no. No, sorry.
And
You're
then
going
as
on your
far as
top.
like my number 4 and 5, I'm
Yeah,
thinking I gotta throw Wilt in there, bro.
yeah,
Wilt
of
is still,
course.
I think, scoring 100 points and just dominating in his era.
Hmm.
To me, he was just unbelievable.
Hmm.
And Bill Russell, that he has the titles, but to me, overall, as far as the player is concerned, his athletic ability, he could run like a gazelle, jump out
Yeah.
the building. He played volleyball. He was just unbelievable on the court. So I would have to say Wilt. And then hmm, that's so tough, man. There's so many players. But
Well,
yeah, I'll go. I'll go. You know what?
what about
I'm gonna
Doc?
go. I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
Bird.
Bird. All right.
Bird is my secret man crush that I tell nobody about because I hate Boston. But Bird was a bad man, bro.
He
Larry
was.
Bird, if he was playing today, would
Yeah,
absolutely murder
yeah.
Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, any of those chich. He would kill them all, bro. Bird was unbelievable, and he was able to talk smack and have you crying on the sidelines, bro. He
Yeah,
would back it up. He'll tell you what he's gonna do to you, and you couldn't stop it.
he
And he
was a
was the
bad man.
slowest non-jumping his ass person you ever met,
Dude.
and it didn't
Yep.
matter.
Yep. Bring back the high socks. Bring back the short shorts, and let
Yeah,
Bird
and
go
and
ham on the
James, my
wing.
man James said Dr. J deserves more respect. He virtually made the league merge exactly when he came from
Yeah.
the ABA,
Mm.
from the Nets. I agree. Bro, there's so many good players. There's so many,
It's
and
one of.
I like right now. I always have the debate. Like they're like saying, okay, if you were to start a team like right now, like
Mm.
again, a lot of these players a little bit older, but if you look at them in their prime, a lot of people give me flack, but I love Steph Curry, man. Steph Curry to me changed this game. He made
Yeah.
the game what it is today, the modern game. People are pulling up from the damn logo right after, half court. They're just pulling up and shooting. Where back in the day, bro, if you would ever do that, your ass would be on the bench. You would never get any type of play. You got
Right.
kids out there, you know what I mean?
Mm.
6-year-olds, banging threes like it's going out of style where we couldn't even reach the basket, when we were that age.
Airball.
Yeah, yeah, and but that all came from Steph Curry. And
Mhm.
he gave kids the ability, again, how Mike had, gave us the ability to dream that we could jump from the free throw line and dominate like that. Well,
Mm.
Steph Curry, the little guy, he gave everybody that was under, like 6 foot and under that, man, maybe I can go out there as long as I can shoot the ball.
Mhm.
I have the ability to be like Steph because he's not going out there with that crazy athletic ability and dunking and none of that. It's just he has the ability to control the game and his shot making to me, he's the best shooter ever in the
Mhm.
NBA, and Larry Bird close second. But yeah, that's my time. And yeah, Shaq's another one, man. Shaq was the most dominant force in the NBA ever. Like, man, if he could shoot free throws, that would be that for me would be it. No, seriously, like if he can make a
No.
free throw, it would be like it's a wrap. There's no question, top ever because there was you could do nothing with Shaq. Shaq prime Shaq,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yep.
He was like Gretzky.
Yeah. Yeah, he was I knew about him coming out of LSU, and heck, I even had one of those big starting lineup figures of him hanging on to destroying the rim. I mean, I remember the hype train coming out on him, back then, and him going to Orlando, and him getting him and Penny Hardaway
Yeah.
getting them to, the finals. Was Penny on that team that went to the finals?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scott Skiles, I
Scott
remember
Skiles running back games as if the name was Scott Skiles. Yeah,
The
man.
Magic were my NBA Jam team back in the day in the
Yeah,
arcades
that was yeah, yeah. And I want
because
to
of
give a
Shaq.
shout out. Listen, this hobby, man, it's all about relationships. And then the best thing I love more than anything in this hobby is getting gifts, cards that people send me. I think it just touches me in a special way.
Mm.
And I want to give a shout out to my man right here, the commish, because he
Oh,
sent me a card that to this day is all time staple in my my PC.
it was in your Zion. Yeah.
Now, when I was growing up, my favorite team was the Philadelphia 76ers, still is. But my main guys, it started with Hersey Hawkins and Johnny Dawkins, the most feared backcourt in the NBA. And then
Uh-huh.
you had, Ron Anderson coming off the bench. And you had my boy Sir Charles Barkley. And then you had the center. And the
Mm.
center was Mike Jaminski, the G Man
The legend.
from Duke. Okay, so my man, I don't know if you can see there, but that is an actual autograph Mike Jaminski card.
Yeah.
This came from my boy, the commish,
Yeah.
hooking the eyes up with that beautiful blue Mike Jaminski.
Oh, it was one of the
Man,
best ones that I could find. I remember, yeah, that all started because you and Tony in the early days were talking about
we
obscure
would we would
players.
we would try to drop Mike Jaminski's name every episode in the first couple, like 15 episodes. We would throw him in there just
Yeah.
just for the hell of it. It was just like
Yep.
any way we could have the G Man show up. It was always
He
cool.
was your little episode Easter egg.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So when you guys were doing that, talking about, it, I was like right away. I was like, I am getting those guys an autographed Mike Jaminski card, each of you.
Dude, you don't
And I
know. Like when you sent that to me, bro, like my heart melted. I was like, oh, that's the dopest. Like it was like, man, because not only that, bro, but this is what I collected. This is the junk
yeah,
wax, the 90
yep,
Fleer. I mean, I had all of these cards.
hmm
And these were the first cards that when I got back into the hobby, that I
yeah,
was looking these cards up and they were showing, a Magic Johnson or the Jordan or the Charles Barkley, where they were showing for like $5,000, $8,000 raw, where I thought I was sitting on a gold mine,
the
these
gold mine.
particular cards. So when you sent this to me, bro, it was just
Yeah,
like icing on the cake. Like, dude, this is unbelievable. This is amazing. It was like one of the best gifts I've ever received. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, man.
you're welcome. It's all that hobby love for my cousin Oz.
So
We've become really
Splenda,
close too.
Splenda's in the building, and he says, "Can we talk about how 2023 may be the best dunk contest ever?" Need a Moses Malone to go with that. Says, yeah. Oh, yeah, Moses Malone. Yeah, that autumn. I don't know if we could find one. I don't know. Like, I'm probably, yeah, I know Moses Malone rookie went for a hell of a lot of money. I know that.
Yeah,
But Splenda, inform me, brother. Who's in this dunk contest? Are you joking with me? What do we got going on here, bro? I haven't done my research on the All-Star game.
yeah. I missed my research too. It was I didn't catch that. That was oh Kenyon Martin
Kenyon Martin Jr.
Jr. Mm.
Sounds interesting. I remember Kenyon Martin.
I remember Kenyon Martin too. I
Yeah,
got a
there's
Kenyon.
so many kids in the NBA, like the ones that we grew up with, all their sons are now playing in the NBA, which is
Oh,
crazy,
dude,
man.
the same
It's
things
like,
happening in the NHL. I get that too.
yeah, yeah,
Watching
yeah.
guys play, and I'm hearing they're the players that I watched as Flyers growing up, or guys on other teams, and legend players, and hearing their kids, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Their kids got old fast. And I'm like, I didn't get old fast, but their kids did. Same things happen in NBA and the NFL. You're seeing kids coming up. So,
So basically, Steve was joking. It's a bunch of nobodies
oh,
in this dunk contest. Now, I remember the day when the dunk contest actually meant something. And there was one person, if you want to talk about why I have no respect for, not, it's not, I don't have respect, but I wouldn't put him number one or number two on my list. And that's LeBron never had enough balls because he didn't want to like go out there and participate in the dunk contest, maybe because he was afraid that he wouldn't win it and that would tarnish his legacy. So he decided to sit out
mm,
because in game dunking, LeBron was, he would have amazing dunks and he could jump out the building. LeBron, why wouldn't you like that was almost a rite of passage for anybody when, Jordan came in, and Dominique Wilkins and then, Kobe even did it. Um,
even highlight reel.
yeah, you know what I mean. Vince Carter. So the list goes on and on of famous dunkers, like the best of the best that would go out there and showcase what they can do. And LeBron
Mm.
always shrank and said no. And
Huh.
that irked me. That always got under my skin. It was like, bro, go out, you'll win just because you're LeBron James. You don't
Yeah.
even have to do anything fancy. As long as you make the dunk and it's powerful, you'll
Mhm.
get a 50 because you're LeBron James.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody be holding. They still hold up the
Yeah, bro.
10 Gatorades. I remember that, as I watched that too as a kid, like back with Spud Webb. That was
Yeah,
one of my
Spud was
favorites.
dude, Spud Webb, what he did as at his height,
He would
that to me,
climb through the
bro,
air,
boggles my mind. I'm taller than Spud Webb. Like it's insane.
yeah,
Like I'm like, this is freaking nuts what this guy could do.
and the
And
fans went
man,
crazy.
shit, and you have Vince Carter though.
Mhm.
That might be the best all time. That dunk contest that he did, and having his arm all the way up in the rim, and
Yep,
the crazy 360s in between the legs. He came out and he did some stuff. I was just like mouth drop, like whoa,
yep, yep.
next level stuff.
Those things they give team players got to keep doing that stuff for the fans. I mean, I guess I get that with LeBron if he's not doing it for fans because that's what All Star Weekends is kind of about. It's to showcase the players and who had a good year and put them up on a pedestal because yeah, they have All Star games, but it's really about the fans. I mean, if you think about all of them, I mean, even the NFL's changed theirs. They're not doing the game got to be a joke, but
Mhm.
and it was fun, but all of them. I mean, NHL just came off their All Star weekend, and NBA's got theirs coming up, right? Or is it? Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's you got to showcase yourself for the fans and do this. Of
Yeah.
home run derby for baseball,
Yeah.
it's
Listen, man, you got
you
it.
got to
When
do that.
when these all-star games, it's like you don't have to go all out and everybody's afraid of getting hurt nowadays, and I get it. But like you
Yep.
said, it's for the fans, and you can go out there and you can do things that just to showcase the talent and what makes you special and why we watch you every time you go out. Um,
Mhm.
listen, my man saying Blaine Thornton, Ja got to do it. Ja Morant. Ja Morant
Yeah.
is unbelievable. Like he had his in-game dunks are the craziest that I think I've ever seen for him
Mhm.
to do what he did. It's like Iverson on steroids. Allen Iverson would do some stuff, but like those two guys, unbelievable. Now
Yep.
Tony wanted me to give a shout out to we wanted to recap because we always
Yep.
call this the recap and our latest guest Rob, the sports card therapist, and Mr. Stacking Slabs, Brett McGrath. Those two guys, bro, those were unbelievable. We've had Rob on before,
Yeah.
but Rob, like I said, he kind of has like the Midas touch right now. When anything he's touching right now is pretty much turning into gold, and he's on an unbelievable hot streak. And then of course you have Brett McGrath, who's been there, he's been doing it. And man, just being able to go ahead and have those two guys on the pod and to chill and kick it with cousin Tony and I, that was fun.
Mhm.
Did you have any questions about them? Maybe something to throw out at me that
For me, no. I'm trying to remember. I listened to them, earlier this week, and I probably should have done my homework and heard them again. But I think that they were, solid episodes. It's fun watching you guys do those stuff with the Wolfpack.
yeah. Yeah,
You
the
know,
Wolfpack's pretty cool, man.
so
Again, it goes back to the building relationships. Blaine Thornton's talking about the faction with Shane Norton. I love the faction, bro. The
yeah, yeah,
faction to me, the three of us when we get together, it's just unbelievable chemistry. what the three of us have, and we can bust balls, we can go back and forth with each other, but we really do,
Mhm.
honestly, we love each other. But the conversations that we have, they get deep, they're funny, they're crazy. Tony, with his rip it or slab it, it could just go any which way. The crux of it, it all goes back to cars. But I just love the crazy conversations that we have. So the faction to me is dope, and then the content that we're putting out with the Wolf Pack,
Mhm.
just trying to get out there and just bring knowledge and fun, again, entertainment to the hobby as much as we can, give back to you guys, to the people, like all you guys that are here, man. This is unbelievable, being able to come on alive and you guys actually listen to what the hell I gotta say, what the hell Kamish has to say, and actually be interactive and have fun, dude. Yeah, they even changed your mind on Valentine's Day. They did. They did. So it's crazy, man. Like, I went all out. Listen, my wife, I was all about, ripping that Valentine's Day. All right. It was my wife that changed my mind. She
Uh,
went out. She knew that this was a special game. She planned the whole Super Bowl party. I was gonna go over to Tony. She's like, no, we're having it. And I talked to Tony and I was like, bro, we got to do everything exactly as how we did it the last Super Bowl. I said, you had a party, I had a party. You invite the same guests, I'm gonna invite the same guests. And my wife went all out. She got balloons, she got catering, she got, cake, an Eagles cake. She went ahead and
uh,
bought me a Jalen Hurts jersey. Jalen Hurts, the Super Bowl hat, the big, rocking the
uh,
chain, bro. You know what I mean? Like, she got all the whole nine, bro. Like,
yeah.
let me rock that one last time.
Last time.
So yeah, my wife went all out crazy for the Eagles, and she did this all for Valentine's. And I was like, you know what, I gotta go. So I got her the chocolate covered strawberries. I got her the dozen roses. I got her a little, like, my daughter was like, Dad, I want you to get her like this elephant. It's like it's a stress related thing. Like, you hug the elephant and relieve stress. So I went ahead and got that for her, and just a bunch of other things that I was actually delivering the mail. I was in the hood, right? I was on I was in the middle of the city, hood. And here's this lady and her friend, and they have a Valentine's Day setup table outside their house, their apartment. And it was, baskets, men's baskets, women's baskets. And I was like, So I went by, I'm thinking maybe like $20, $30. These ladies were charging 50, 80, $150. I was like, damn, what y'all got up in here?
What you got there?
Yeah, I'm looking at, and I was like, you know what? These ain't half bad. They had purses in them. They had,
Okay.
like, roses. They had chocolate candies, like all kinds of little knickknacks and stuff,
Mm.
like the little roly things to put under your eyes to get the bags out of your eye. I was like, okay, all right, give me that one. So I got one for like $50. I brought that home. I mean, my wife was like over the moon. She's like, oh, you thought about me? I was like, of course. I
Of
love
course I did.
Valentine's Day.
Of course I did. Of course I did. Yeah. No, you guys have been, it's I was telling you guys in the text earlier this week. I was like, I'm having a hard time keeping up with you guys, and I
Hey,
love you,
I'm
and I
having
and
a hard time keeping up with us too. Like Tony's under the
I love
weather
it.
now because I think we've been doing too many episodes out here.
Burning the
So
candle at both ends.
yeah, bro, it's listen, it's not easy.
Yeah.
We make it look easy because we're professional. No, but seriously, no, it's a lot of work, man.
Hmm.
We've gotten to the point now, and I'm sure like the Hockey Gong Show can attest to that. Like, once you do so many episodes and once you've been in front of the camera, you start doing these lives and you're just talking, it can come natural, and all those jitters and everything just goes away, and you just talk, and you can
Hmm.
be really, we didn't prepare for this. We're just here
Yep.
just winging it, and we're just going based upon what everybody's saying. So we've
Yeah.
gotten to that point right now. Tony's running on fumes.
That's
Tony
why
needs
from
to
for weeks.
yeah. So yeah, but it gets taxing. You work. I don't know. Tony doesn't really work all day, but I work all day. I don't know what Tony does. I'm the dead ass. I don't know what Tony does. I think he goes to a couple stores. He shows up, says hi, and he goes, "Hey, you got enough beans?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're good on the bean scene." "Oh, you need some more beans? Let me go get one." "All right, cool, good. All right, I'm out." And then he goes back home. That's like from 9 to 10, and then I think he goes back to his house to feed his dog. Then he goes to another store for another 20 minutes, and then he goes back to take the dog out to pee, and then maybe one more store, and then he's at the card store or hanging out with you or doing something for the rest of the day.
Yeah. He's got to
We're not
manicure the lawn too. Don't forget when
yeah,
the weather's nice,
yeah,
he's got to
that's
manicure the
gotta
lawn.
manicure the lawn and the meats, he's always cooking something on the on the grill.
No. No, they but yeah, watching you guys over the last couple weeks and your shows here and the other ones, the one I was talking to you guys prior, which I wanted to mention when you were on with
Oh, yeah,
Jeremy
how do I
Lee.
forget Jeremy Lee on Sports Card Live, bro, that was
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. You wanna talk about professional? That
Hmm.
dude,
Hmm.
he literally was like, "Listen, we're gonna have a meeting before the show."
Hmm.
Normally, we just go on a show and it's a nah, like, this dude is so prepared. He's like, "I
Hmm.
wanna get to know you guys inside and out. I wanna know everything. That way, when I have you on my show, I'm gonna just ask everything, and by the time it's done, everybody's gonna know everything about you." And
Hmm.
we're like, "All right, cool, let's do it." So we sat for, like, almost 2 hours, bro, on a
Hmm.
Thursday before the Saturday. Thursday night, and we're just there just having a blast, just talking. I was like, "Man, we coulda just hit the record button now."
Yeah.
And, we were just laughing and bro, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Jeremy Lee is truly the man, and we actually, uh, we were talking about because 'cause you're
Uh-huh.
planning on going to a very special show. Why don't you talk about that?
So I was talking to you guys about my goal. I told you at the beginning of the show is my trying to get that O rookie, and I was like, what better way? I went to National, got the Topps rookie. Where is it? Right there. Got the
Mhm.
Topps Gretzky rookie. Got that at National. And to check off the final list, I want to get the O rookie. So I was like, I think I'm gonna make my way up to the Toronto Expo in the fall. They do one in spring and fall. Spring's a little too close. I got a little so many things going on. Got to restock the piggy bank, so to speak. Maybe
Yeah,
move
yeah,
some
yeah.
cards and but for my buddies at the Gong Show, they went to the Fall Expo and they were like, "Yes, you should go." And yeah, so I'm gonna look forward to go to that and try to pick it up in Toronto. And that's when we were talking about Tony mentioned it to Jeremy, and
'Cause
one of
your thoughts were like, there's gonna be a
there's gonna be
ton of Gretzky rookies
there's
there,
gonna
so
be
that
tons of
means, like, the
O up there.
prices yeah, there's gonna be so many of them, the prices should be cheaper. And in my
Yeah,
mind, I was like, "Nah, bro." I said, "Don't you think all these guys play hockey together? Don't you think they're gonna wanna keep that Gretzky market running really high?" So they're
yeah.
all gonna in cahoots, they all get together, all the dealers, "Listen, Gretzky, what are we doing for this show? 8K, 15K? Sound good? Okay, nobody less than that."
Nobody less than that.
You
They
know?
don't want they don't want to come in south of the border. But
No.
yeah, we were debating about that thing. I said, well, there's definitely gonna be plenty. And you guys asked Jeremy, and he did. And he actually we talked about the price, and he says, yeah, it might be a little more expensive up there. Get a premium, but there's definitely gonna be a lot more there. You can see that. So I see, I see. Cousin Tony's steering us. So
That's great. So Kamish card meetup tomorrow. So like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he can't get on the show, but he can definitely plan a card meeting tomorrow with the Kamish.
No, no, no. He's talking about what I was teasing you guys about. Remember when I was pulling a cousin Tony saying I got a thing coming and blah blah blah, and I was
Oh,
looking
okay,
at my
okay,
date.
okay. I thought
I'm
he's
looking
already planning for you guys to go back to the pizza shop and
at the beats. No, he's got a 15. He's got to do some work for 15 20 minutes. So, um, one of the things I wanted to mention, one of the themes that you guys talked about a lot recently, and on your varying formats was from Rob, sports card therapist, about saying the participation is required,
Mhm.
and that's something that's huge. As far as meeting people, like when I met Josh and Troy from Minnesota on the Gong Show, and all these tons of other people. Um, Everybody starts to know who you are for your brand on your Instagram and whatnot, and it's really cool when you establish all those relationships. Well, was it yesterday, day before, a day or two ago? Somebody that I met on Instagram that were mutual collector friends, Philadelphia Flyer Graham. I give a shout out and an assist to him. We're both fans of the Flyers, obviously, and he sends me a link with a DM, and he goes, "Hey, saw this, thought of you." And it's a 101 card
Mhm.
that um, uh, you guys know that I was looking at another version of one, but I was like, oh, that's cool. And I looked at it, and I almost pounced. Just it was on a buy it price,
Yeah.
um, and turns out like I was like nope, nope. Hang on, let me cool my jets. Don't just no don't hang on. I got cousin Oz in this here. Don't fall for FOMO. And cousin Tony's over there. Just get it, dummy. So I looked up prices and I came up with a price, and I started doing best offers, going back and forth with the seller, and we went back and forth a little bit. I made a decent offer. Anyway, long story short is, after he declined on eBay, I went and offered him a message, just saying, hey, just if you want to, check in or something falls through, keep me in mind, and you can catch me on Instagram if you want, and gave him my name. So he messaged me on there, and it turns out that he was like, all right, let me. I think you're fair. Let's just, where are you from? Where you from? And we found out he's actually local.
Oh, wow.
The guy's local, and we might try to help each other out with some other cards. But we came to an agreement, and I'm going to be probably meet him up with it tomorrow, and do that stuff. And had I not learned some of that stuff from you guys,
Yeah.
um, you know, meeting people and talking to stuff like that wouldn't have happened. So I'm hoping everything goes smoothly. It should. I mean, he sells a lot of cards and saw his stuff. So, but it's just funny how that whole participation
Participation
is being
is
required, and it's
required. Yeah.
it's about the relationships you build, and it's half of it's the people you know and the people you meet.
Yeah, and
That's part
listen,
of the
there's
experience.
nothing wrong with, staying home and not going to shows and just being an eBay buyer and getting your mail days and curating your collection, and you don't
Hmm.
have to participate, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine.
Hmm.
Everybody can collect and hobby the way you want, and that's always one thing that Tony and I have always said is like, listen, we're never going to begrudge you for anything. However you want to do it, you do it. Just do it to the best of your ability, and that you're happy at the end of the day. But if you want to, you know, add a little spice to
Hmm.
this thing, take it to the next level, Rob put it out there. He put the blueprint. You must participate. You go out there. You go to the shows. Start up a podcast. Or just do certain things that get you out of your comfort zone, because
Hmm.
those things are going to lead and open doors and lead to so many things. Like right now, me doing this, and Tony, doing the Cousins Collectibles podcast, and then being part of the Wolf Pack and doing the faction, and then going to being on stage at the National, and now we're hopefully hosting a trade night Friday night at the National. Like just insane stuff that we never thought would be possible. Obviously, you can't do if you don't go a little bit out of your comfort zone and just try to have fun, man. Just have fun, and don't be afraid to just put yourself out there. People are going to judge you no matter what, so you might as
Yeah.
well give, like I said, give them something to talk about. So
Yeah, I mean, I remember when you guys first told me. Tony told me first. He's like, "Yeah, Oz and I are going to start up this podcast," and I'm like, "Oh, what's it about?" He's like, "About sports card collecting." I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Where'd this come from?" And but yeah, it's just been a crazy, crazy year. Thinking about where I was last year versus this year, not just as a collector, but in the people I've met, the relationships that I've made. It's been the contacts where I mean, heck, you and I have known each other for 12 years now, 11 years now, maybe a little longer. But
yeah,
I mean, we've gone from maybe negotiating a fantasy football trade maybe once or twice a
yeah.
year to talking every day.
Yeah, talking every day, going to Sixers games and,
Sixers game, getting sweet, sweet life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, it's just fun. I think it makes things so much more interesting, more fun. And it's not about getting the great deal or the good deal. It's about getting a fair deal and doing something for somebody, getting something back in return too. So
yeah,
every once in a while, but like I'll be honest. When I remember buying you guys those Jaminski cards, that was really early on last year,
yeah,
just because you kept dropping his name. I got such a kick and joy out of getting those cards. I was
yeah.
like a kid when those things came. I was all excited to get them to you, and I
Well, that
drove
was
right
like
to
I said,
Tony's
that was
house.
amazing. That was amazing.
But
And then,
those relationships.
and I'm starting to do all these crazy side PCs and collecting the toys and doing the Stranger Things with my daughter.
Mhm.
So there's just so many avenues and tangents that I'm going on, and I just got I
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about it, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I said it, but I just want to show it off again because I just love it. I went
Yeah.
on a little comic run for the Masters of the Universe, and I got 5 comics, but then there was the actual first appearance of He-Man and Skeletor in a DC Comics, and it's with Superman, and so I got it in a
Ooh.
9.8, and
Ooh.
so this particular thing is just so dope.
Ooh.
And this was actually from 1982. DC Comics presents number 47. So you could see
Wow.
Skeletor controlling Superman right there. And he's basically, he's saying, let me read it. As long as Skeletor magically controls me, I must attack He-Man, and that means I could die. So you're seeing right there Superman admitting that if He-Man were to get a hold of Superman, that he might kill him, because
Yeah.
that's how powerful. And it says from Eternia with death is on the bottom there.
Wow.
So this was like the first appearance. And there's actually, I looked this up, this is CGC graded. And as of right now, there's 284 of these graded in a 9.8. All right. And there's
Mhm.
actually one higher graded. I thought this was the highest, the 9.8, but there's one out there that's graded higher. I don't know if it's a
Mhm.
9.9 or a 10,
Mhm.
but that damn thing must be worth a fortune,
Yeah.
because I paid a hell of a lot for this one.
Sure. Sure you did. I'm sure you did.
So I seen that, bro. When I looked up, I was like, "What? There's one higher? Oh my god!" So I don't know who has that, but God bless you.
Yeah,
God bless you.
yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mrs. Splenda. So I'm done with my comic run. So now it's back to we're gonna get some more cards. We're gonna get
Mhm.
you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna bother you one more time, sir. I need you to get a hold of Mr. Beans for me, and we
Oh,
need to
yeah, 'cause
find out
he's
what's
got
going on with our cards, bro.
he's got yours and mine. He's got both
Yeah,
of ours.
yeah.
He's got
He
he's
got
got
my
Aaron.
Allen
I'll check in
Iverson,
with him.
Ken
Well,
Carl
you
autograph that I've been waiting for a year now.
he didn't even have it a year. No, because we got it. Well, see now, Typhoid Mary over there in the background, Tony. He, he's remember we got a submission. We got
Yeah,
a, so
new
that's the
one.
perfect reason to go
Yeah.
and say, hey, by the way, where we at with
What
these
state?
other
What
last
stage are we at? Because
cards?
what last time we checked, what 2 months ago, was it
Oh
stage
God,
3?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the vending segment.
Bro, listen, you're all good. You got all your cards back.
Yeah.
Like my favorite card, like literally my favorite card with Allen Iverson, like that's my grail piece, the Ken Carl 101 with Allen Iverson. I did everything, that's my baby. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
been
yeah.
out of my possession for a very
So
long time.
we're gonna check in with Mr. Beans, and we're gonna go
Don't
drop
get
off
all
some more
mad at me,
cards.
Kamish. Last time you got all
No, no,
sensitive on
no,
my
no,
ass.
no, 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 no. I
Why is
teased a
Oscar
little.
always bothering me?
Teased a little.
I don't want to deal with this shit no more. Tony, you're in charge.
No, I teased too hard. I teased too hard. We were both tired and sensitive that day, and
Yeah,
then
we
we
were.
wanted Tony.
We
It
were.
was all Tony's fault. It's his fault.
He's the
He found
instigator.
us up.
Tony's always been the instigator, then he tries to play like he's the good guy.
No, no,
But
no.
I'm on to
We'll
Tony.
get there. We'll get there because we got some cards because I got some stuff I went out and you got stuff you went out and Tony does and can't
Yeah.
wait to
So
get that stuff
yeah,
back.
that's always fun, bro. It's like getting,
Yep.
cards, your same old cards, but getting them new again once you get them slabbed up and you get to do a little reveal.
Mhm.
But Kamish, it's
Yes,
over
sir.
an hour, sir. My
Holy
wife is giving
mackerel.
me the look through the door. I can feel it. I can sense it. She wants me to come up. We're supposed to watch some show, The Last of Us. Have you heard of it?
Yes, sir. I don't watch
Yeah.
it, but I heard of it. Yes.
Yeah, I seen the first episode.
Catching some heat.
It's pretty it's all right.
Yeah.
It's one of those slow burners. I'm sure it's gonna pick up.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna go watch episode 2, spend some time with the wifey.
Cool,
Tony
cool.
got to get to bed, get that vitamin C, get some rest. Hopefully he's good to go. He got some editing to do.
Yeah.
And you, sir, got some collecting to do. So
Yes. Don't we all?
yes, we do. We want to thank everybody that gave, feedback today. That was awesome. You guys are great. James Lumen, Steve Splenda, Blaine Thornton, the whole 9, Big Rob, all my peeps up in here doing their thing. Who else we had in here?
Rocky Cards Gone
Sydney
Show.
Reynolds. Sydney Reynolds coming through. James Lumen,
Mhm.
D Pyres, all these people, man. Like, this is unbelievable. Hockey Kong's card show.
Rocky Cards. Yes, sir.
Ziggy No in
Awesome.
the house. Yeah,
Yes.
so thank all you guys for participating, man. We
Mhm.
appreciate you guys, man. And again, thank you, Kamish, for coming on board, helping Tony get through this. Yeah,
Happy
man.
to help. Happy to help, cuz.
Yep. So don't forget, check us out on Monday. We'll be dropping on Monday, and then join us again next Thursday. We could do it all over again.
Yes,
And
sir.
you know what? Tell a damn friend. You know, that's how we do it around here. Let them know.
Yeah.
Tell them about that cousin's gospel, baby. We preaching.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to end this like we always do. And
Yes,
that's
sir.
keep focused, keep positive, and keep collecting. Hey, yo, Commish, bring the beat back.